Clive Frederick Palmer is an Australian businessman, politician, political activist, and owner of Mineralogy. He has iron ore, nickel and coal holdings. Palmer's net worth was estimated by Forbes magazine to be $550 a million as of January 2014. While the BRW magazine estimated his wealth at $1.22 a billion as of June 2014. Palmer owns Mineralogy, Waratah Coal, Palmer Industries, Queensland Nickel at Townsville, Palmer Coolum Resort on the Sunshine Coast, Palmer Sea Reef Golf Course at Port Douglas, Palmer Colonial Golf Course at Robina, and the Palmer Gold Coast Golf Course, also at Robina. He owned Gold Coast United FC from 2008 to 2012. In April 2012, he announced that he had signed a Memorandum of Understanding with CSC Jinling Shipyard to construct a replica of RMS Titanic, the Titanic II. The ship will be built in China and will set sail in late 2016. Palmer also added over 100 animatronic dinosaurs to his resort in Coolum, creating a simulated Jurassic Park. In 2013, he established the Palmer United Party and contested the federal election. Palmer won the Queensland seat of Fairfax in the Australian House of Representatives. Early life: Palmer was born in Melbourne on March 26, 1954, and spent his early years in the suburb of Williamtown. His family moved to Queensland in 1963 and Palmer was largely raised on the Gold Coast, where he attended Aquinas College and Southport State High School, although he also attended Toowoomba Grammar School. Palmer studied law and journalism studies at the University of Queensland from 1973 to 1975, dropping out before completing his degree. Business career: natural resources. Palmer is the owner of Mineralogy, a company which has 160 billion tonnes of iron ore reserves in the Pilbara Ranges, in remote Western Australia. In 2008, Palmer bought Waratah Coal. In 2009, he bought Queensland Nickel and the Palmer Nickel and Cobalt Refinery. The following year, the company increased production by 30%, prompting him to give $10 a million worth of Christmas bonuses to staff, including 55 Mercedes-Benz B-Class cars and overseas holidays. Soccer: Palmer purchased the Gold Coast United Soccer Club in 2008 to improve his profile in China. In October 2009, he made a decision to cap attendances of Gold Coast United home games at Skilled Park Stadium to 5,000, in a bid to save money. After widespread backlash and only 2616 fans attending the next home game, the idea was scrapped after the intervention of Football Federation Australia. On February 29, 2012, Ben Buckley and Frank Lowy announced that his licence for Gold Coast United FC was to be revoked for constant breaches of FFA rules and regulations and sought to pay out the contracts of the players for the remaining month of the season. Lowy has stated that he acted in order to protect the integrity of the sport. However, Palmer stipulated that he would contest the decisions through legal action and claimed Lowy was a dictator. Despite a ruling ordering the removal of freedom of speech logos on their shirts, Palmer has indicated they will remain. On March 2, 2012, Palmer lost his Supreme Court bid against Gold Coast United's expulsion from the A-League. In 2012, after the FFA revoked his Gold Coast United A-League licence, Palmer founded Football Australia AA, a competing organisation for the sport of soccer in Australia that operated without any international affiliates. Other activities: in June 2002, Palmer was appointed Adjunct Professor of Business at Deakin University's Faculty of Business and Law, a role he held until 2006. During that time, he delivered a series of lectures as part of Deakin's MBA residential programs. In 2008, Palmer was appointed Adjunct Professor of Management at Bond University on the Gold Coast. In December 2012, Palmer was appointed Secretary-General of the World Leadership Alliance, a democracy-promoting council that includes former U.S. President Bill Clinton, Myanmar's opposition leader Aung San Suu Kyi. Palmer was also named President of the Alliance's Business Chapter, the World Economic Council. In December 2012, on Christmas Day, Palmer hosted a buffet lunch for 650 disadvantaged people, mostly children and their families. On March 4, 2012, Palmer was named, amid controversy, as a National Living Treasure by the New South Wales branch of the National Trust of Australia. Announcements: Titanic 2. In February 2013, at a press conference in New York, Palmer announced plans to build a modern-day replica of the liner RMS Titanic. It is planned that Titanic 2 will be built in China and will make its maiden voyage from Southampton to New York in 2016. Palmer hopes to recreate the Titanic as closely as possible with its familiar outside looks and also on the inside. According to Palmer, the Titanic 2 will be 883 feet long, weigh 55,800 gross tons and will carry 2,435 passengers and 900 crew. The Titanic 2 will honor the memories of those who died and survived on the Titanic, Palmer said. The Titanic was operated by the White Star Line, and Palmer unregistered trademark cruise company is called Blue Star Line. Like the original ship, there will be no TVs aboard and probably no internet service, he says. Palmer Coolum Resort, Dinosaur Park. After announcing the Titanic 2 plans, Palmer announced his plans to build a park that features animatronic dinosaurs. He originally proposed that it be called Jurassic Park after the film of the same name, but due to copyright issues the proposed name was changed to Palmer Coolum Resort, Dinosaur Park. Palmer ordered more than 160 animatronic dinosaurs, which included an initial shipment of a 3.5-meter tall, 20-meter long T-Rex, nicknamed Jeff. Palmer received full council approval for the park on July 25, 2013, and it was expected to open to the public in 2014. On December 14, 2013, the Dinosaur Park, now called Palmersaurus, was open to the public, with Terry, Bindi and Bob Owen as guests of honor. Palmersaurus garnered early controversy when the Australian PGA Championship withdrew from the course, citing disagreements about the location of the park. Palmer Coolum Resort has also been subject of a story by the ABC 730 in which owners of villas at the resort allege Clive Palmer has been locking them out of their villas. Politics: Palmer was instrumental in the split of the South Australian Conservatives in the 1970s, and was active in the Liberal movement headed by former Premier of South Australia Steele Hall. Palmer joined the Queensland division of the National Party of Australia in 1974, having been influenced by the policies of Joh Bjelke Petersen, Premier of Queensland at the time. From the early 1980s onwards, he was involved in state politics, serving as the National Party's campaign director during the 1983 state election and as media spokesman during its 1986 election campaign, both of which were successful. The following year, Palmer was a supporter of the Joh for Canberra campaign, which unsuccessfully attempted to get Bjelke Petersen elected as Prime Minister of Australia at the 1987 federal election. He was elected to life membership of the party in 1992, which he retained after the state branches of the National Party and Liberal Party merged to form the Liberal National Party of Queensland in 2008. In late April 2012, Palmer announced that he would contest Liberal National Party pre-selection for the division of Lilley at the 2013 federal election, which is currently held by Wayne Swan, the former Deputy Prime Minister and Treasurer. However, later that year, in July, he announced his intention to seek pre-selection for a different seat, including possibly the division of Kennedy, held by Bob Katter of Katter's Australian Party. Several months after announcing his intent to seek pre-selection, Palmer resigned his life membership of the Liberal National Party. His membership of the party had been suspended on November 9, following comments on the actions of state government ministers. He was reinstated to the party on November 22, but resigned the same day. On April 25, 2013, Palmer announced a reformation of the United Australia Party, which had been folded into the present-day Liberal Party in 1945, to stand candidates in the 2013 federal election, and had applied for registration in Queensland. Another political party, the United Party, lodged a formal objection to registration of the name Palmer United Party with the Australian Electoral Commission. The AEC determined that the names a Uniting Australia Party, a unregistered trademark, and a Palmer United Party, a unregistered trademark were distinct, and the name a Palmer United Party, a unregistered trademark was not prohibited. Member of Parliament, Palmer ran as the candidate in the division of Fairfax for his party. In the election, he won the first count by just 7 votes and an automatic recount was started. Palmer accused Drew Houghton and Greenpeace of receiving funding from the CIA, due to his involvement in the preparation of a Greenpeace strategy titled Stopping the Australian Coal Export Boom. His claims were dismissed by Greenpeace senior campaigner John Hepburn as ludicrous, who said that Greenpeace would not accept money from any government, corporation or secret service. His claims were also rejected by the CIA. In his maiden speech to federal parliament, Palmer implied that the government was deaf to the everyday struggles of all Australians, and stated that the entrenchment of the two-party system in this country not only threatens democracy but destroys the creativity of the nation. Family property holdings. The Palmer family's property holdings include their 6-bedroom, 11-bathroom, 22-car garage Queensland residence in the waterfront Gold Coast suburb of Sovereign Islands. News Limited reports that property records reveal Mr. Palmer, his family and associates own a total of 11 homes in the Sovereign Islands, a gated enclave developed on reclaimed land on the banks of the Southport Broadwater. Other known properties are homes at Broward Beach Waters on the Gold Coast, Fig Tree Pocket in Brisbane, a large villa at the Palmer Coolum Resort and in Sofia in Bulgaria. Other holdings include properties in Brisbane, Jandaway on the Darling Downs, Queensland, Port Douglas in Queensland and Bora Bora, French Polynesia. In addition, Anna Palmer owns an undisclosed number of properties held in trust for their daughter. Personal life and health. Palmer was married to his first wife, Susan, for 22 years, with the couple having 2 children. Susan died from cancer in 2005, and Palmer remarried in 2007, to Anna, who had been widowed the previous year. Clive Palmer was close friends with Anna's husband Andrew Topalov, who died from melanoma. Palmer actually walked Anna down the aisle to her first wedding with Topalov after her parents could not make the wedding. 20 years his junior, after the shared tragedy and long-term friendship, Palmer married Anna. The couple's first child, a daughter, was born the following year, and a second daughter was born in December 2013. Palmer is a devout Roman Catholic, and was a prominent member of Right to Life Australia while at university, organising anti-abortion rallies on campus. While watching a soccer game in October 2009, Palmer was thought to have suffered a heart attack, and was taken to hospital. However, doctors dismissed it as merely a heart palpitation. Palmer has also suffered from sleep apnea. Wealth rankings. See also, Mineralogy, Palmer United Party. References. External links, Palmer United Party website, Memo of Understanding between the Palmer and Motoring Parties.